So it might send. Now, did it send you any request
Yes.
to allow to record?
Yes.
Good. Very, very good. That's what I want. So go ahead and authorize it about the record.
Okay.
And let me know when you're done.
I am done. Yes.
All right. Very, very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Warren Nelson and Denise McCoy. And we're going to be talking a little bit about real estate today. And Denise is going to be doing my live streaming. A lot of you know my live streaming show of that I do for the real estate school, the free live streaming real estate class. Well, that's leading now to a podcast. And we're venturing from the live streaming. We're going to continue doing the live streaming, and we're doing a podcast. So Denise is going to be our guest speaker on the live streaming show. Very excited about that. And then I grabbed Denise and asked her if she would be honoring me to do our first podcast performance and be our guest speaker there. And guess what she said?
Of course, of course.
Thank you very much. So we're going to introduce you. You know what I'm thinking about doing with this podcast, Denise? Because it's all brand new. I got to record these 5 episodes before we actually download it and go live. But I'm thinking about naming the podcast "Real Estate Saved My Lifestyle."
That's a good one.
You like that one? Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
So I've been working on a name for the podcast now. So
That's a good one.
Thank you very much. So that's good. So without further ado, I want our first podcast of Real Estate Saved My Lifestyle. I want to introduce our guest speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Denise McCoy. Denise just graduated my class not long ago, and now she took the state exam. And she is a licensed real estate professional in the state of Pennsylvania. How does that feel, Denise?
It feels amazing. It's like a boulder lifted off my back.
It's amazing. But to be known as a professional in the state of Pennsylvania, a licensed professional in the state of Pennsylvania.
It's unreal. It's still unreal, Warren. I'm like, I can't believe that I did it. It's like one of the best achievements I've ever done. So thus far, I should say.
and kudos to you. You've really worked hard. You did good. It was interesting how you ended up in my class from a few months back. It didn't take long to be where you are right now. So a few months back, how did you venture into wanting to learn more about real estate?
Well, I was in the process of purchasing a home, and I had a real estate agent who was not doing what he needed to do. He was just like side railing me to the most. So I was like, you know what? I think if anyone can figure it out, it would be me. So who else would know what to do for you? You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? Let me Google a couple of websites. So I Google websites, but Google, they make you think you know everything. So I was like, this is not working. So I came across your information, and here we are. You know what I mean? I just started talking to you, telling you all the crap that I was going through and how the real estate agent was not as professional and just far from the best. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to purchase my own home, I want to be able to purchase it the correct way. So now there's no one that can tell me that I can't, because I can't.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So you didn't get into this to start out to be a real estate agent or to get rich. You were just actually looking to buy your first house, and you just weren't happy with the representation that you were having. So you went out and said, you know what, I'll learn this myself. And sure enough, that's what you did.
Exactly. Yes. Who else can do it but you? You know what I mean? Like you're going to have your best interests all the time. So I was like, I have to do this because there's nothing that can stop me,
And I love it. And I see that spirit in you. That's why I wanted you to be my guest speaker, because you got that spirit that nothing can stop you, And
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I seen you get scared. I seen you face adversities, and that fear did not hold you back. So I really like that, and look at the journey you're on now, just like me, doing a free live streaming show, doing a podcast. This is the very first time I did a podcast. I have no idea. I don't even know if it's going to turn out right after we're done done editing. Am I in the film? Are you going to be in it? So
Can they hear us?
can
Right.
you hear us? Exactly. Exactly. So I was like, oh my goodness, so this very first, and look, you just take a leap of faith. You never know where it's going to lead you to.
Absolutely. Like, but you are like, you're the man. So, it's gonna work out. You have so much faith in all of your students. That's what really sold me for me. It was like, this man believes in me and he doesn't even know me. So with that being said, it was like, oh, he has to be an awesome teacher.
I've been blessed with the reviews that I've getting. I'm waiting for the bad review, as I said. Somewhere along the line, it's going to be coming.
Right. The
I,
trolls.
yeah, you have to be realistic. But I've been blessed with the reviews that I've had, and I thank you for the review that you've left me. And I've been really very, very, very lucky. So I'm lucky because I'm at a time where I'm paying it forward. But
Mhm.
paying it forward is absolutely leading to much more paying it forward than I actually realized. It all started with just me helping you get a real estate license, but
Right.
now it takes me on to helping certain golden ticket achieve a corporation, a business,
Absolutely.
so that's one thing that I really like, that I didn't know that this was going to take me to that next level.
It's
So,
so funny, isn't it? It's so crazy. Like where one door can lead you. That is just, but you're a phenomenal person. So with that being said, only good things can come from it. You know what I mean?
well, I want to teach more the lessons of real estate so they can improve their lifestyle. Where are you taking your real estate? What would you like to do in the next year and 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I just plan on doing everything that you taught me, but the right way. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much information that does come about within the weeks that we do study. So you kind of have to step back and ground yourself because you don't want to make the wrong decision, if that makes sense. But I definitely see myself making lots of money,
Good,
if
good,
that
good.
makes sense. But I just want to, I don't know if it's like the best thing to say, like what agency to go with. A lot of people are saying like, hey, this person does this and this person does that. But I remember, again, it goes back to what you told us in the class, that keeps me grounded. You know what I mean? Excuse me, I haven't picked anyone as of yet, but I do know that I've been Googling a lot of places just to try to figure out where exactly to go.
Now, see, you're getting a lot of offers right now, are you not?
I A tremendous a lot. Like, I don't even want to check the mailbox anymore.
Yes, yes, yes. And I told you, once you have that real estate license, you'll never look for work anymore. Work will come to you.
Absolutely, yes. And I remember, and when I first got the first offer, I was like, "Oh my god!" And it's just like nonstop, whether it's emails or brochures or postcards. It's like everywhere.
You got that commodity. Not everybody can achieve the real estate license. And so once you have that commodity, everybody's going to vie for you. And
Yes,
I told you that's your golden ticket. Where do
it
you
is.
where it takes you, what roads, and you got all these journeys now that are potentially ahead of you. And
Mhm.
and this is good that you talk about it, because not everybody knows what they want to do when they affiliate with a broker.
Right.
Some are in it for the money, the
Mhm.
100% commission. Others are in it for the ambiance of the office. The office, absolutely beautiful. Some are in it because the chemistry between
Yes.
the broker and them is right there. So money's not always the reason that people take their real estate journey. So I always like to
Absolutely.
get input from my students to see exactly where they're heading in the future. So are you looking to represent others in the immediate future to help them with their real estate transaction and maybe accumulate a deal or two on your own as you go along?
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, well, no one probably knows other than us, but I've always wanted to help people, and I truly believe that the experience that I experienced when I was going through my journey, I never want anyone to go through that. You know what I mean? Like, just being suckers for the most part. And I feel like if a person wants to open their own business or buy their first house, like, that is an experience and a feeling that I would love to share with them. You know what I mean? Because I genuinely have their best interest in heart. So I would definitely want to be a part of that, because it's just helping people is where I always lead back to. You know what I mean?
And that's the greatest things in life, the charity. I was so selfish when I was younger. When I was in my 20s and my 30s, I was making a lot of money. I was so selfish and I was so snobbish too. But I
Right.
really wasn't really enjoying life. I thought I had everything happy. I thought I was making enough money, but I really wasn't enjoying life. But then as I got older and I started realizing that it's now time to pay it forward and became
Mm,
more charitable, then life really started becoming much more
mm.
interesting. So it really is that charity of giving and paying it forward. And that's one great thing about being in the real estate, because almost the minute that you start paying it forward by helping others achieve, what they couldn't probably do
Absolutely.
without your assistance.
Yes, sir. That is so true. Sometimes you don't know where to look, who to go to, and we, being replicable people, we would definitely like guide you in the right direction. You know what I mean?
And that's ultimately the goal. So, and it comes down to the broker that you affiliate with. And so it's very interesting to see what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be doing it part-time just to start
No,
out
no,
with?
I'm going head in. I'm full time. I have to. I feel like I'll give it my all if it's something that my life depends on, if that makes sense. Like my income is going to be on this. So I feel like I'm going to give it the 8 hours or more that it deserves. You know what I mean? It's going to be my full time job.
And when you run a business, Denise, everybody thinks, I'm going to work less hours when I run my own business, but you end up working full time. 8 hours is going to be a short day for you. So 8 hours. We hope we only do 8 hours, but those
Right.
12-hour days, and they just creep right in there. So
Yes.
but that's okay, because the rewards of all that effort are much
Will
better.
pay off.
When
Definitely.
you work a
Definitely.
job, your reward's going to be the same paycheck week
Mm-hmm.
after week, no matter what. It's going to be the same paycheck. But when you work real estate, you're making a nice chunk of change for an income in the same process of paying
Mm,
it forward, and it becomes like a win-win situation. Plus,
right.
not to mention, you're known as a licensed real estate professional in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
so
yes, that's amazing. Like when you say it, I just get goosebumps. It's just so surreal. Like I just can't believe that I'm a licensed real estate agent, you know, moving it forward. That is just phenomenal to me.
what an accomplishment! I'm so proud of you. I told you.
Thank you so much.
So
Yes.
and
And
so
you were
proud.
like the third person I call. Of course, I call my husband, but yeah, I call my girlfriend, my husband, and then you, because I was like, I have to tell him the story.
And I'm so blessed when I receive these calls, and that I receive
Yes,
the
I know.
best
I know you are, because a
examples.
couple of times during class, you were like, "Oh, they just passed," and I'm like, "Okay, that's gonna be me soon."
This is great. So, what did you think of the live streaming platform? Was it comfortable for you in the beginning? Was it?
Yes, no, it was a lot easier than what I thought it was, because I'm literally computer illiterate. So I had no idea what I was doing. You made the emails so easy, because all you gotta do is just click the link and boom, you're there. So that was phenomenal. I like that. And the speed that you went was also good as well. And whenever we had a question, you was always there to answer it, which I love, because you don't know what to expect when you're going through online class, especially real estate. It's so big. So you're like, am I gonna get retain the information? Am I gonna understand? And you made it extremely easy to achieve that.
I appreciate that, and it's always a learning curve,
Hmm.
because I told you I had to take a sensitivity class.
Right.
Then anything that makes me a better teacher, I'm always there. You should see the homeworks that we're doing now, Denise. Now, what I do is I incorporate pictures into each of the classes, like a surveyor. I can show the
Uh-huh.
survey, I can show the land survey, so I can incorporate
Look
the
at
picture.
you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. And then I
cool.
changed the homework assignments too. So I give them actual quiz questions to get
Mm,
practice every day. So when it comes to test day, the fear is not there. It's just
right. Because
another
it's
homework.
right. You've been doing it throughout the class. That makes
Exactly.
perfect sense.
So as
Whew.
you go along, you just kind of build and build and build.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
now
it's kind of like parenting. You don't know what you're doing.
it's a guessing game. You just wing it. Hopefully the
Yes.
outcome is the right outcome. That's what we're trying to achieve, the
Yes.
right outcome. You know, I was down Wildwood and I saw one of these boards. They make the boards, and it was about teacher. And it said, teaching is not about the income, it's about the outcome. And I
Mm.
was like, oh, I like that. It's
Right.
consolation, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some consolation. So usually these things will go really fast with the podcast. The live streaming show, when we do the live streaming show next, it will go quickly. We have some commercials inside. We're going to add them, of course, to the podcast. This is the first podcast that we're doing. And of course, we'll have sponsors later on down the line and commercials and so forth, because it's basically what everything comes down to: capitalization, pay the bills, put food on the table, get the bills paid. And so
residual income, that was your favorite one.
That's exactly right. So if I can generate income on everything that we do, then to me, that's kind of successful.
That's always a win-win. Okay.
That's exactly right. And so, as I was showing you earlier, how you're marketing, because you're going to be a guest speaker, a world-known guest speaker all over the place soon enough, So remember where it started, all humble beginnings,
I got you.
Okay. So remember where it started. But so you're going to be a renowned guest speaker, and you're going to be like emails and the social media and all this marketing. And so what the podcast is doing is, as I teach it, I'm living it. And so now the podcast is another thing that I'm going to have to tell students, well, eventually you're going to need the podcast on the email as well, to add to your email, to add to your text marketing, to add to your social media marketing. And it all comes down, and as I teach, it all comes down to creating a business. And that business is used as a mechanism to build your database.
Absolutely.
That's the secret to all businesses. They don't realize that, So the business is just a mechanism to build a database. The database is the power.
Absolutely.
And, everything leads to generating emails. And so this podcast is another way at first to build up emails, contact database, and then it gets big enough where we have a big enough audience, it makes us billionaires. Okay. So
yes, that's awesome, because you can reach a lot of people through the podcast. So that is extremely smart. Yeah.
And so, I'm learning about that. See, I went the opposite direction. I thought the live streaming show and advertising the live streaming show as a free class, that would take off great. But then my team, and I love my team, everything that I sent you, all the social media, marketing, everything, the team did that. They put it all together. And so the team goes, you got to start podcasting. I'm like, really? Podcast? And the thing I like about podcasting is we can mess up. We can mess up here, and we can cut it out later and dub it and edit it and then put it in there and make it look like we're perfect, as we actually are, So I like the podcast so far, and I could do the podcast anytime. The live streaming shows every Monday at 6:00. So I got to be here in the studio every Monday at 6:00 to do the live streaming show. And I'm always looking at that clock. See, here's another good thing about the podcast. I don't have to constantly look into the camera. But with the live streaming show, I got to constantly remember to look into the camera. So, yes. And so I'm still debating, Denise, not sure what to do with this podcast, because with the real estate show, it's easy. They want real estate information.
Okay.
And they want to learn about information about real estate. But I don't know if the podcast needs to be geared to all that 100%. So I'm still trying to figure out, because this is only the first show, which direction, because these are the questions you're supposed to do. Who's your audience? Who you talking to? What's your message?
Absolutely.
So we're literally building a podcast while doing a podcast, performing on a podcast. Okay.
That is hilarious. That is so cool. Like, I'm a part of history. This is unbelievable.
Yes, it is. It really, really is. So all this is a humble beginning right now. We're doing our very first podcast, learning how. So I'm literally on the podcast talking about creating a podcast, and you're my very first guest speaker. How is it? How great is that to start a podcast? I already had a guest speaker already there. It took me almost, how long did I run that free real estate show? For like 3 months before I had a guest speaker,
Wow.
Yeah.
But once it starts going, it just takes off from there. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, the little steps, and then you just keep going. But you have so many ideas. This is a piece of cake after today. I promise you.
Yes, I think this is going to be really good. The podcast is going to be good because, again, as I said, you can play with this,
Right.
With the live streaming show, it's right there on the point. People are tuning in.
Mhm.
Oh, and you know what about the other thing about the live streaming show? If you ever started, get used to
Mhm.
talking to yourself. I mean, I think my first month, my first 4 shows, there wasn't nobody there, but I still had to be all professional and talk
Right,
like there's
right.
somebody, there's this imaginary audience out there, and ain't nobody there. And so starting the live streaming show was a little bit difficult. It's like, man, this is depressing.
Right. No, but it's good though. As long as you do it, I'm telling you, people will come. I promise you, they're gonna come because you have so much good information to give. So
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. And so now there's more pressure. I told the team, I was like, great. You think it's easy being the star, Denise?
right,
It's not easy being the star, all right? Image is everything,
everything. Yes.
I want you to watch it. See the hairline goes right down into the eyebrows and then right to the see that?
It's sharp. Yes.
Thank you for perfection. You can't rush this stuff, okay?
You can't. You
Okay.
can't.
So image is everything.
It is. Oh, you're so cute. I love Mr. Nelson. You're awesome.
So that's one of the first things. I got to figure out what kind of image for the podcast we're going to go with.
Okay.
I like the name. Do you really like the name? Do you think the name's okay or no? Real
No, I
estate
really like
saved
it.
my lifestyle.
No, because it does. It truly does. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know where you want to go, that's always a start. You know what I mean? And if you do know where you go, then you're on the right track, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I think I'm on the right track. I think that. So yeah, because I figured I had to throw real estate into the name so they know it's like what it's about.
Right.
And I figure maybe my humor can come out in the podcast, which you can't do in the class.
Right.
Class I can only be so funny,
Right.
without being
But
incorrect.
you did though.
Right. So the podcast lets me let my hair down a little bit.
Right.
So
Let them win in, right?
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Then so all right, good. So we got that's a start, and I got to record at least 3 or 4 more shows before we actually go live because
Okay.
the audience, they thirst for more. It's not easy.
Absolutely. You
They
can't
thirst-
just a one-hit quitter, you know what I mean?
Exactly. No one hit wonders, So we might have to do a couple of shows together. Get you on payroll, see where it takes. You never know, It's
Right.
always nice, when I pay out that $20 after this live performance, that's what it really comes down to, that $20 bill,
Mhm.
so
I do.
Yeah.
I do. God. Make or break you, right?
that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly. That's why I'm in it, for the crisp $20 bill,
Yes, sir. Hey, you are hilarious.
Thank you very much. So it's
But
going
how are you feeling though? Like, how are you feeling? Because I know we're talking about me a bit, but how are you feeling though?
I'm feeling good. It's sometimes it's a little bit more performance on my part.
Mhm.
I gotta, work at it. So I don't like working. I'm a big fan against not working. So that's why I got the real estate business. But when you do the show and the live streaming show and the podcast, you actually do got to do a little work and what questions am I going to ask? Which direction, and so now it's working my brain again. It's making me tired, I need naps.
Gotcha.
I need more naps than I ordinarily
It's
do.
a power nap. Just get some coffee, dust it off. Don't worry.
That's it. That's it. So if you're asking how I'm feeling, a little overwhelmed,
But that's understandable.
yeah, hopefully you never know where it's going to lead. So hopefully it leads to bigger bad things, where people are throwing dollars at me. I'm walking down the gold carpet, so we'll see where it goes. You never know where it's going to take you. So
Yes.
but anything to get the word out for the school, because I've learned that selling products is real easy, but
Right.
selling a product, but selling tuition, selling somebody an education,
Okay.
that's a different beast.
Different ball game. It is.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
really is. So
To convince someone to do that. Yeah, I agree.
it's not easy getting people to do better for themselves, especially because everything seems like a con. Now, was there any upselling? Did I do any upselling, make you buy any other programs while you were in my school?
No. It wasn't geared towards that. It was just more so like real estate, just finding yourself and developing the skills that you need to own your own business. That's what that was.
Okay, well, that's all going to change. We're going to have to start making some money here, okay?
I know that's right. As you should, man. Because it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good information. I'm telling you, everyone that I've known, I'm like, you have to take Mr. Nelson's class because it was phenomenal. Like, I was like, you're not getting paid for this? Like, what? Yes, you have to though.
Thank you. Yes. If you want a better direction, if you want a better lifestyle, if you want more opportunities, we all know what a paycheck looks like,
Right.
we've all seen it, and it doesn't make us any happier, but adventure, you never know where it's going to take you. So that's the one thing that I like about that golden ticket, and you never know where it's going to take you because you never know. You get into real estate and then you end up being the world renowned Oprah Winfrey of guest speakers. You didn't.
Okay.
All right. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So, all right. It all started with a real estate license and you became the premier speaker. So you never know where things are going to take you. And so I find it interesting. So I always encourage people to join the real estate class. It's, lousy $400,
Right.
but it's the best investment you can make. And since I do the payment arrangement,
Right. Oh, even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because I would spend $400 on a bag, you know what I mean? And it's not going to give me no return, So it's just a bag that I have that's going to collect dust because I'm probably going to wear it one time to whatever occasion may happen, you know what I mean? So why not invest it in yourself,
And that's always my point. You could lose more than that in an hour at the casino.
I recently did. So I know it's I call myself, I'm gonna go out and enjoy myself. Maybe 45 minutes and I was like, oh, I'm ready to go.
That's exactly right. I don't know how anybody can ever enjoy losing money. I don't know how to get through that,
So bad.
My Joji, she's so good at the casino. She goes there. She's doing great. So she's a little bored. She wants to go back home, in the Philippines, but she doesn't want that 10-day lockdown.
So they have a 10-day lockdown over there?
Yes, they do. So that kind of ruins the whole trip. And so she's not looking to do that, but she's so lucky at the casino. Me, you know what I do at the casino? I drink and I eat. So I sit at Chicken Pete's, and then and I'm on my phone doing business and she's there doing that. So it's amazing. But the lifestyle at the real estate gives us that lifestyle to go play at the casino. So, and as I said, and I taught myself to stay out of the casino, but somebody's going to be a taxi driver. So again, the real estate school, I love the real estate school, gives up so many opportunities to better advance yourself. So I'm looking forward to it. So you're still shopping for your broker. Are you going broker? Or are you going Fortune 500 company? Do you know if you're...
I'm going to try broker just to get my feet wet more so, you know what I mean? Because I just need more guidance a bit.
Okay. And so that's what you're looking for when you're interviewing the broker who's got the best education, who can take your real estate platform to the next level. Is that...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Who can offer me the most training? Who can offer me the advice that I need, just to guide me in the direction, the mentorship, things of that nature.
Now, are you willing to pay part of your commission for this education?
It depends what they're offering. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I can pay you, but are you helping me? You know what I mean?
That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. And so, but the problem is with that independent contractors agreement, once you sign it, you're locked in it for the year.
Right.
And so it's really this very first contract that you negotiate after you get that real estate license, after you pass the state exam, is this employment contract, your independent agency contract. And this will be with your broker, and it's known as an independent contractors agreement. And so you got to negotiate who's paying for the ads. If I get a listing, my aunt lists the property with this broker. Who's paying for the ad? Are you paying for it? Do I got to pay for it? Is it coming out of my commission? And
office fees and all of that.
Oh yeah. You're starting to get experience with it already. I see. Huh? Yes.
But I've been doing what you said, like even before, because I know you tell us to Google beforehand, like even before we even get our license, which is good because when you come out, you're like so overwhelmed to begin with. And if you at least have an idea of where you want it to go, that definitely helps. You know what I mean?
That's exactly. So I tried to do that in a class to prepare you for this very first exam. Now, little bit of karma coming back to haunt me. I dropped the wife off at the supermarket. And then I ran to the golf course to hit like a basket of balls without her knowing. And guess
Right.
I got that hay fever allergy now because I
Oh
didn't know
my
that.
God.
Now the karma
Right.
came
No
back.
good deed goes ungood, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I'm hoping not to sniffle. I'm hoping not to sneeze during the whole podcast. And then I got to do the live stream and hope not to sniffle, hope not to sneeze. I was like,
Oh
yeah,
gosh. Just
I'm
just
back
hold it
to
in. Look.
that's exactly what I'm doing. So I grabbed the tissue, and then I stopped. I was like, whoop, whoop, didn't get it caught on the camera. Okay, let's keep it off there. Okay, good,
Right.
And I'm trying to do the silent sniffle. Nobody can hear me, so I don't, right?
Seasonal allergies. So I get it. Like sometimes I just can't hear out of my ears. I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah, I hate the congestion.
No.
Now, I already lost most of the hearing in the left ear.
Okay.
Yeah, but that, again, as I said, it is aggravating. It throws your senses off a little bit.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
It does.
I hate that. But yeah, so I got to incorporate different things. I don't want the podcast to be all about real estate.
Okay.
So sometimes it could be just about me. I could do an hour on me easily. So, but
Right.
I don't want the podcast to go all about me either. So, so I'm stuck between our dilemma, something interesting and me, so.
Oh,
So I'm working this podcast. I really appreciate you being here on the very first podcast.
absolutely.
We'll probably do this about another 15 minutes before we do the live streaming show. The live streaming show is a lot different atmosphere. We're going to have the producer, the lighting, the makeup. You got your makeup artist over there, right?
I do.
They're back there. Okay. So yeah, as soon as we're off camera, so.
Yes. This is going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. So, and then
I'm so proud of you. Like, this is so awesome.
Thank you. I never knew that. How did you ever expect? I just want to teach. That's all I want to do is teach. And my whole agenda is to get that classroom filled up with as many as I can inspire and teach. But the whole game is getting the word out there. So the podcast is going to be another form of getting the word out there that this is an opportunity for $400, a 75-hour class. You're going to be a licensed real estate professional in the state of Pennsylvania. You're going to have all this education to represent others. You're going to be able to make all this income. And look, the employment's coming your way. I'm telling you, they're just asking, come work with us, Denise, make your money here, make your money here.
Yes.
So all these opportunities will be available. And so my whole agenda now, from podcast to live streaming show to all my marketing, is just to get the word out. Do this for you. Invest $400 in yourself, and you won't regret it.
Absolutely not. Yeah, the best $400 you ever spend in your life, literally. Well, you can double it, like, or you quadruple it if you want to. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, what do you have to lose? That's my thing. Like, what do you truly have to lose? Granted, it is $400, but like we just discussed, you can blow $400 in any given moment. So why not, again, invest in yourself? And it's something that you can always have. You know what I mean? Like, you can always have that. You can always come back to it. You can always make residual income. You can make any type of income. You know what I mean? So I truly think that is what's the worst that you can lose. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially if you do the payment plan and after $150, you realize the class is not for you, then you can, so, again, I said, I try to make it as easy for everybody as I possibly can. It's not about the money, obviously. $400, I'm not charging a lot. I am the least expensive real estate school with a live streaming platform in the state of Pennsylvania. So, yeah. So again, it's not about the money. So I always try to encourage everybody to take that investment, make that investment in yourself, get into my classes. And so this is usually where I would have my producer put up my calendar and the website. So that was a little bit different without Vernon here, putting everything in there. So you'll get to meet Vernon in a couple minutes when we get to do the live streaming show. But Vernon, as soon as I do certain things, he'll put a background in there. So it'll look nice. So now I'm talking about my classes, my August and my October class. He would have been there. But you know what? What I can do, I can do one of these share the screen things with this. Let's see if I can do that. And there it is. Not so good. There's the calendar with on my page there. But again, August 17th class and the October 12th, it's a podcast. We could dub this out. All right. So, and then the December. So I got 3 more classes this year for you to get yourself a licensed in real estate. And so now, of course, again, as I said, time this podcast goes out, it'll probably be about 4 or 5 weeks from now before this podcast actually airs. You
Right.
know? So, but that's okay. That's what we have to do. We got to do what we got to do. Humble beginnings. And
Absolutely.
this will be the first podcast for, I got to look at my notes here, the Real Estate Saved My Lifestyle podcast.
Yes, I love that. I'm telling you, that is like the perfect title. I really love that title.
I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. You know, I was joking around with it, but I figured I got to come up with a name for a podcast now. And I'm tired of being so square. I'm such a teacher. You know, you're such an instructor. You're such a director. You know, let your hair down a little bit. So I figured, oh, let's add a little fun to it. So glad you liked it. Real estate saved my lifestyle, and so this will be changing your lifestyle. Are you ready to be filthy rich, Denise?
Absolutely, bring it on. Okay.
Okay.
I am so ready. Like, it's just game changing. You know what I mean? Just knowing that you have it within yourself. You know, I believe in myself so much. At first I didn't, but then it's like, you know, who else? Like, I know I said that before, but again, you have to want to believe in yourself, and it's there. You know what I mean? And you do a good job of bringing it out of us, you know, all your students, because you truly was supportive and all of our indoors. You know, every question we had was answered. So it's not like you're just going to be like, okay, here's this, read this. No, we're taking time. We're going through it. We're asking questions. You're throwing your jokes in, and we're getting it. You know what I mean? And then you do offer different times as well, right?
Yes, I do. I have a morning class, which is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that's for 6 weeks. And but that'll give you your state required 75 hours. And then I have the evening class, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. So I try, and I put these two classes together because that person that works 3 to 11 is always in between classes, and they never get to attend a class. So I always knew about that 3 to 11 shift. And so I figured this would work out with any shift. You're 9 to 5, 3 to 11, third shift. These hours would accommodate those. So what about you? Do you have any clients that you're looking at that are looking at for Denise to assist them and helping them buy and sell our property?
So I have my mother-in-law and my parents. My mom is moving from New York to Philly. And my mother-in-law, she wants to get another rental property. So
very good. She's in the real estate
but
business.
you did say it starts from home, right?
Yes, I did.
In your phone book, excuse me, in your phone book.
Your database, that's exactly right. Starts with that database. And so, yep, and there's your first two clients, and it makes it a lot nice transition, you know.
It does. Because I can mess up and they won't curse me out. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. You know, and it'll be there to guide you, and they're not going to be putting a lot of pressure on you. Right. So it's always good your first 2 or 3 deals to friends, family, you know, and get those 3 under your belt, and then it becomes template after that. It's the same forms, it's the same thing over and over and over again. And since you already did your first property, you got to see both sides of that representation, where you were representing yourself in that business. But what did we learn from this adventure? The mortgage company is that, are they not the favorite part of these transactions?
They get on my nerves. It was like pulling teeth, you know what I mean? They were just so picky and so they were just like, I was like, no, you know what I mean? It was cool though. But I mean, to say I wasn't even licensed then, that was what was getting me. You know, even you brought it to my attention. I was like, wait, I'm doing what? Because I fired my real estate agent. So
and you're working your own contract yourself and doing a great job at it, no less, because of what you learned.
Yes.
And so before you even had a license, you're working a transaction already. That's what I really love. I love that.
That's what it was. And I was like, wait, I'm calling the title company and I'm calling the
lender,
the lenders,
you know, like, the termite and the home inspector, you know, calling all of them. You're getting everything arranged one step at a time, and now that's what you're going to do for your clients. And now you can understand why you're going to get paid in this business.
That's why I think it's going to be perfect, because like I'm having both sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a agent. I mean, I am an agent, and then I'm actually helping someone, so I know like what a buyer's concern would be. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, they're scared about this. Let me make sure they're not. You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely on my side as far as getting a deal, just making them comfortable, I guess you should say, you know what I mean? Because buying purchasing a home is a big, big, big decision, you know what I mean? It's extremely scary. So I think the fact that all my questions is obviously, questions that first time homeowners want to know. So it's just like, okay, let me start off and lead with this. And then I'll go into like the nitty gritty, because that's scary. Like, here, sign this, sign this, sign this. They're like, what is this? You know what I mean? So yeah.
And that's what I said. If you have the ability to explain what they're signing, what they're reading, you have the ability to explain the contract to them, your
Yes.
clients will feel much more comfortable. And so you've got that extrovert personality and the knowledge, because you've gone through the contract. You pretty much know the contract better than a lot of real estate agents know it already. And
Right.
you understand, if you just study that contract, know that contract, you will be an excellent real estate agent. You're going to make a ton of money in this business simply by knowing how to explain the contract. The contract, that's it. That is the nuts. And most people are afraid of it. We get a lot of real estate agents saying, what do you think? You want to go look at 10 more? And they're like, no, I'm done. I want to make an offer on this. And the real estate agent gulps. What?
Right.
Make an offer? Now what do I do?
Right.
Yeah, now, yeah.
But I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to have my computer ready,
And that's exactly right, because you never know where your next deal is going to come from. So having your consumer notice, your business relationship agreement with you at all times, you never know where the next deal is going to come from. And you got to strike while the iron's hot. So you get used to that in the real estate business of allowing me to represent you. But I could already tell. I want you to represent me, Denise. I could already tell. You already got that.
I appreciate you.
Yes.
I mean, I got your best interest in heart. So we're doing this,
Very, very good. So again, and that's what your clients are going to feel. So, and this is what I was hoping. I was hoping this magic. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you want to be known as Agent McCoy or Agent Denise? So, yeah.
I think Agent McCoy. I think Agent McCoy has a nice.
I think that's got a better kind of official ring to it, Special Agent McCoy, because that's what we are. We're special agents in the real estate cast. So again, Agent McCoy, how's that feel?
It feels amazing. Wait, say it again.
Agent McCoy, can I speak with Agent McCoy, please?
It just sounds so beautiful.
Your business cards, you already got your name, you already got your second, one of my other students, Agent Paris, she used her first name. And so she went Agent Paris,
Okay.
And she calls herself Agent Paris all the time. So you got to get used to it. I told you, image is everything. You got to
image is everything.
So you got to build it, and now people are going to be knowing you as Agent McCoy. All right.
Isn't that cool? It blows my mind. I literally have that little emoji with the head blown, like my head is blown.
I am so proud of you. You've
so
come
much.
so far in just a couple months. And I can't wait to see what you'll accomplish in a year and in 5 years from now. And I can't wait to have you back on the show again and again and again. You never know where one thing's going to lead to another thing. So again, especially when all the emails come in, where's Denise? We want Denise, and they keep calling for more, I'll be like, we got to get her back on the show. All right.
That's going to be so cool. Oh, man.
So yeah, you never know. So the podcast, at least this time, starting out the podcast, because when I started the free live streaming show, I was talking to myself. There was nobody out there, but at least with a podcast, I get to communicate with somebody,
Right.
Record this, so it's not so bad, pretending somebody's out there. There's a real live person.
Right. Yeah. So we can venture this way and come back. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. So, hopefully it was entertaining, hopefully the fans will like our very first podcast. Again, thank you everybody for watching The Real Estate Saved My Lifestyle. I still gotta get so used to saying that.
You're so cute though. Have a nice ring.
Thank you very much. So I want to thank everybody for joining our podcast. Me and Denise got to get ready to run because we got a live streaming show to do, and that's where the rubber hits the pavement there, because live streaming is different than podcasting. You can make any mistakes, but when it comes to the live streaming, I just want to put a little bit of extra pressure on you, Denise, just before it starts. Okay, so I just want to add that. Don't forget it's live streaming.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the show will get bigger and better as we go along. I'll learn how to do some tricks with moving things around naturally as we go along, and the topics will be getting interesting. So, we'll have a questionnaire if you want to send your questions to where I'll set up in 5 weeks from now, where you can send your questions and your comments. That'll be great on where you would like to see us take the show and what you're thinking of this show. And we will have the curse filter on, ladies and gentlemen. So,
Yes.
okay, so in the comment section. So that'll be great. Denise, once again, thank you very much for being my guest on my very first podcast show. Everybody, Denise McCoy, look for Denise McCoy out there, Agent McCoy. All right. She'll be coming to service your real estate needs soon. She'll be working. Are you going to be starting out in the Philadelphia market? Is that
I am, yes.
Right. So starting out in the Philadelphia market, and of course, venture into the counties eventually, where we get work with the $1 million mansion deal.
Yes, sir.
So that's where you're going. So and then soon you'll be using these podcasts as your advertisement for your show and your real estate business.
I
So
can't wait.
you're starting off with a very good resume. So it
Yes.
looks really good. So, all right,
Okay.
Denise, thank you again. Denise McCoy, everybody joining us on the Real Estate Save My Lifestyle podcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us and coming in. And we look forward to seeing you again next Monday. Denise, again, 1,000 thank yous. And I'll see you
Absolutely.
soon on our live streaming real estate show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good
Take
night.
care. Good night. Good night, everyone.